You're a single individual in a swath of several billion, and you're probably a part of a few different communities, unless you're some kind of like distant hermit with no internet connection and who's absolutely cut off from everyone. But if you were one, I don't know how you'd be seeing this right now. So chances are you're a part of some mass of people, but at the center you are a singular individual. You are just one person, and that's a good thing, I suppose, because we get originality and we get personality and qualia and whatnot. But there's also some problems that come with that, because things tend to happen and tend to affect multiple people. Important things specifically tend to happen in mass. So not only are we affected by things distant from ourselves, we are also put into situations that otherwise would uninvolve ourselves, and we also have to observe the situations that involve others. And it's very hard to handle, one being a part of something that involves a lot of people, depending on the situation, and two being uninvolved but also having to watch a situation that affects a bunch of people as a single individual sat somewhere distant from something really bad that's happening somewhere else. You don't know what to do, and honestly, there's little you can do, so you always feel shit about certain situations that are beyond your control. If there's some war, if there's some famine in some far off country that you will never visit, chances are, being the average person, then you don't know what to do and you sit in a sort of apathetic state about that. But also, you have other things that do affect you. You have the big one, sort of climate change. That's going to affect everyone. That is affecting everyone. Well, for the most part now, certain and specifically more developed countries are feeling less of a brunt because they're more, climate supported, I suppose. Right now, we're just seeing serious consequences of climate change in countries with less flood defences and with less emergency relief. But that will soon change. Things will soon heat up and hit back on every country equally. So we are sat here, sort of, as I said, single individuals in the wake of a every involving situation with not much to do. The single person doesn't seem like a lot, and especially again with climate change, you can kind of feel that every decision you make is in a progressive way is not going to change anything. When if you decide to turn off things when you don't use them, you make sure the lights are off or something's unplugged, or that you recycle everything you can, that's not going to make a change when you have billion-dollar industries that spill oil directly into the ocean or burn plastic at illegal and inhumane rates. You sit there again, apathetic and unsure, but you have to remember that everyone is an individual, everyone is a single person. Every decision made by a mass is a mass of people just like you, maybe with different intentions and different motives when it comes to these sort of detrimental decisions made by, global groups who are at the current moment inflicting or worsening situations. But if, and it's a big if, and it's a hopeful if somehow with some form of change, more good intentioned or more humane people were put in positions where these people who currently don't seem to have the best intentions are single people just like you and me, and single people just like everyone can be the cause, because big differences take little people. We are all that we can be, and it's not a lot on its own, and it's too much altogether. But somehow it should work, because if it doesn't work, we're all dead, and I don't think that would be pretty pleasant for me or you. So, yep, just remember that, because it's sort of a good thing to remember. Don't die, and don't let other people let you die. Because if you let other people let you die, they let themselves die, and that should be the one thing that motivates people in charge not to shit on other people, because it will come back on them. You know, the big bosses of these big oil companies can make as much money as they can, but when the sun burns out and we're all dead, they will be dead too.